Hi, Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. On Tuesday, December 19th, well, the U.S. House of Representatives today approved the tax cut bill that the Republicans have been working on. 12 Republicans joined all the Democrats in opposing the bill, but it wasn't enough to defeat it. The instant criticism came from Paul Spencer, Democratic candidate for Congress of French Hill, the 2nd District Republican. He says that Hill has always supported the elites against the working class, and this is another vote of the same. We'll feel more of this if the Senate approves this bill as expected. The next hammer to fall will be cuts in Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security programs, and another bad piece of legislative work for poor people. It's interesting that Medicaid is a big topic of conversation currently, even though it faces further cuts. The Center for Budget and Policy Priorities said that the Arkansas proposal for a waiver that would allow a reduction in the income eligibility level for Medicaid from 138% to 100% of the poverty level would really have a terrible impact on low-income people. They say, as many have already said before, that other assistance and premium payments will be meaningless to the working poor who won't be able to buy insurance for this program. We have some evidence of this already in a story this morning in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. We learned that some 20% of the people covered by the Medicaid expansion now can't pay the $13 a month premium that the state started requiring in January. They're not likely to be able to afford more expensive private coverage in the health insurance market. Some 80,000 people have been thrown off Medicaid, by the way, by an eligibility check. People didn't have their addresses right and that sort of thing. Some evidence of people drawing in 2 states, which is not allowed. The Medicaid rolls shrink. That's good news to Asa Hutchinson, not so good news perhaps to the people who depend on that coverage for health care assistance. MetroPlan said today that the public comments ran overwhelmingly against the proposal to widen Interstate 30 through downtown Little Rock. A public comment period produced maybe 160 or so comments, running 3-1 against the expansion. Doesn't matter. The expansion is going to go forward anyway, at least if the Highway Department has its say. However, a legal challenge is expected on that. The Arkansas Democrat-Gazette reported this morning that an FOI request had produced from the UA information that some 20,000 emails exist between the University of Arkansas officials and officials of the private Razorback Foundation, which provides money for Razorback sports. No, the Razorback Foundation says it doesn't have to release any of that information, and it won't do so. The university is moving slowly to release information on its end. The public deserves to know how money is raised and spent for the athletic program, but the athletic poobahs like having it kept secretly. It'll take a lawsuit to shake that information loose. Some have been threatened, but none have yet been filed. Interesting news from Missouri yesterday. A guilty plea was entered by a political consultant from up north who says that he took money from a big operator of nonprofit mental health service delivery agencies, which operate in several states, including in Arkansas, and spent the money illegally because federal tax code doesn't allow nonprofit money to be spent this way, on legislative lobbying and political contributions. Some of these were in Arkansas. 2 unindicted co-conspirators were not named, but one is an Arkansas lobbyist and another is a former Arkansas legislator. They perhaps will have interesting stories to tell. This is the same organization that figures in a kickback case that's pending in Arkansas, in which one legislator has pleaded guilty and another, John Woods, still awaits trial. This morning, Little Rock police gave news that shook everybody a little bit. They made an arrest in an attempted armed robbery of a Burger King in southwest Little Rock last night. The suspect who fired shots at fleeing employees in the restaurant was 12 years old. He turned himself in. Nobody was shot, was injured by his gunshots, but that's a new low for age in the robbery business in Little Rock for recent times in any event. And finally, a Norfolk firefighter won $1 million with an instant lottery pick ticket in Arkansas last week. He also bought about 4 other winning lottery tickets for lesser amounts, a couple for $500. Don't be encouraged to think that means you'll win, but in any event, Eddie Baker had a good week. He says he's going to buy his wife a car. Merry Christmas, hon. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow. Resist.